So I want to introduce you to this practice of Tonglen because it's basically about encountering pain from a place of presence. That's kind of what it's about. And I think it really does embody very beautifully the teaching of both Jesus and the Buddha. In a certain sense, it's a Tibetan Buddhist practice. But I think both the Buddha and Jesus were about encountering pain from a place of presence and to see what that's like to respond to pain from a place of presence, to listening to someone else's pain from a place of presence. That's a part of it, the way I teach it. So what I need for you to do in order for us to do this little guided Tonglen is to divide up into groups of 2. So hopefully we'll come out even. I'm surprised how many times it perfectly seems to work out. So can you divide yourself into groups of 2? And then we'll see if somebody doesn't have a... And kind of turn toward the person if it's not too hard. Does everybody have somebody? Is anybody missing a person? Looks like it's worked out. Usually it seems to. It's strange. Very rarely do I have like an odd person out that doesn't have anybody. So does everybody have a partner? Yes? No? Maybe? Yes? Okay. Okay, so we'll be a little quiet. So now you need to divide up into person 1 and person 2, and you decide. You be 1 and you be 2. Okay. So, you've got a person 1 in your group and a person 2 in your group. Person 1 will be the listener. Person 2 will be the person who shares. And what you share, person 2, is very simply and somewhat succinctly, although, be as thorough as you need to be, but share with person 1, who is the listener. Person 2, share with them some sense in your life of pain, difficulty, challenge, something you find painful and challenging in your life presently, in your life situation. I very rarely had anybody say, "Oh, I can't come up with anything." Usually there's something or other. It doesn't have to be earth-shattering, but just something that you're finding somewhat significantly painful. And now, so person 2, what is it? Person 2 is sharing that with person 1, right? Still got it right. Okay, person 2 is sharing that with person 1. Now, person 1, this is not a therapy session. So you are not to offer any advice to person 2. You are to listen. And you are to listen from a place of presence. So you listen in unconditional openness. You listen without an agenda. You listen without composing in your mind some piece of nifty advice that you can offer to person two. So you just want to listen with a very open heart and a very open mind, non-judgmentally, without seeking to offer advice, without any agenda. And you don't need to speak. You can just listen. You don't need to, it's not like an interaction. Person two is the speaker. And you need to listen without responding verbally. Now, that's very challenging for some folks, but you'll find it's a beautiful experience on both sides. And that's part of what it means to live in presence, is to fully listen to life. Not just another person's pain, but whatever life presents to you, to fully see it, to fully listen to it, without an agenda, without a kind of composing something in your mind in response or in reaction. So, does that make sense?